Well, hello everyone, Momma Jo here. How does slow cooker lasagna sound to you? Seems like I have a little trouble getting my camera set up. I have limited ability to zoom in and film or anything when I'm doing it all by myself. So I have you set up on a little stand with using my cell phone. So you'll have to bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and brown 2 pounds of ground chuck, and I'm going to drain it. And then I'm going to bring you all back after I can figure out another way maybe to set you up so that you can see me assemble and put everything together. Be right back. Okay folks, bear with me here because I'm going to try to work in this area right here. I've already browned my ground chuck and I've drained the grease off of it. And I'm going to take 2 different size pans here. This is like a medium and this is a large. I'm going to take the large one and I'm going to take that hamburger or ground beef, ground chuck, whatever you decide to use. And it's still hot. I'm going to put it down in the bigger bowl. And whatever you like to season your meat with, you can do it during this time. I usually don't season my meat as I brown it because I feel like when you drain off the grease, you lose a lot of your seasoning. So I'm going to put some onion powder in here. Let's see, kind of settles in here. Just sprinkle, I'm going to just sprinkle some in. And this would be a great time to add some garlic powder or minced garlic. You could do that. Let's see where my garlic powder is. There we go. I'm just sprinkling it in. Whatever seasonings that you like, you could put in here during this time. I'm using 2 large cans of Prego meat flavored sauce. This is 2 pounds, 13 ounces, or 45 ounces. That goes right in here with the meat. So I might want to take my little meat chopper out. Now there's a lot of sauce still in here, and we need a little bit of sauce in the bottom of our crock pot liner or slow cooker, whatever you're using. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water, just pour a little water in here. That might have been 1/4 of a cup. Shake that up. Here's my crock. And pour that in the bottom of the crock pot because our noodles need a layer of moisture on the bottom. Okay, there, and here's the other one. That burner right there is still hot, so that's why I'm not setting it right there. I'm not afraid it's going to do anything to the crock, but I also don't want to scratch up my stove any more than it already is from regular use. Okay, so put the other one in here, and then do the same thing with this one. Put a little bit of water in here. You'd be surprised how much sauce is left in those jars. Okay, and put that in the bottom of your crock, your liner. That's a nice little even covering for the bottom. Let me get my spoon over here. All right, we're just gonna stir this really well together. Okay, I'm just gonna push this out of the way, push this to the side. If I move this, it'll give me some room over here. Okay, the smaller bowl. What you want to do here is you want to take your ricotta cheese. I'm using a 2-pound size. I usually use a smaller one, to be honest with you, but for the video and for a larger crock pot, because it depends on how many layers of noodles that you want to do. You could make a smaller version or you could make a larger version. Okay. I'm going to put this whole thing in this bowl. Just comes out in a big lump. Then you need some good old mozzarella cheese. You could shred your own, but for the convenience of today's video, I just went ahead and bought the pre-shredded. This is 4 cups. Might should have gotten maybe a little bit bigger bowl. But like I said, I usually use a little bit smaller version size. Make sure your hands are good and clean. I washed my hands before I started. Took my rings off because I use my hands when I go to, because when you mix the mozzarella and the ricotta's thick. And you want to get the cheeses all stirred well together. This just makes it a little easier in my opinion. That ricotta is breaking up and now it's getting really creamy. But we're not done with the cheeses yet. I have some Parmesan, Romano, and Asiago cheese. I guess this is shredded. Probably going to use about half of this container. Okay. You save the rest of that for some spaghetti or some other pasta night. Okay, you just stir all that together. Michael loves lasagna. Well, everybody in my family loves lasagna. And you just stir everything just so that it's combined. I can tell you right now, I think because I use that bigger thing of ricotta cheese, I'm not going to be able to sprinkle it like I normally do. So I'll just spread it on there. I'll drop it and we'll spread it on there. Okay. So at this point, it's time to get your crock over here. Hopefully you can see. And I use the oven ready lasagna noodles. I actually have a box from the last time I used it. I'm going to use up the old noodles first. So let me show you how I normally do it. I do have a crock pot that's that's like a shape of a square. That's the idea if you want to take it somewhere, you know. I mean, you could do it this way too. This is going to serve a larger group of people if you do it in this crock. The other one that I'm talking about, you're only going to be able to get a couple layers in there. Okay, so you want to take your noodles, and they're going to fit this way. You have to break them so that what you think that will fit best. So what I might do is, I know as the crock pot comes up, it gets a little wider. I can put one right down in the middle, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. Now I'm going to break this one in half. Okay, I'm going to put one on each side. I'm going to bring it over so you can see here. Right now I'm just adjusting the noodles. I want to see if I have any broken smaller pieces in here. Because you want to save those scraps. Use those scraps. Okay, now I'm going to break one at an angle. It's kind of like doing a puzzle piece. And just kind of fit it in there the best as you can get it. Hold on. Okay, look down in there. See how I took one whole noodle and put it down in there on top of that sauce? Then I broke one in half and put one here and one here. And then I just broke up some pieces. They don't need to be perfect to fit in there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a layer of the cheese over that. And then I'm going to kind of spread it out. But I'm going to set you back up on the tripod so you can see me doing it. And then I will do a layer of sauce. Then I will do another layer of noodles. And sometimes I'll do it this way. And the next time I might lay my noodles going across this way. It just depends on what I feel like doing at the time. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter. We'll be right back. Okay, folks, I hope that helped. Let's see. Stove's probably not too hot now. I didn't know if that would help if I moved it over a little bit or not. Okay, so I think where we left off is with, you know, the sauce on the very bottom. I showed you how I put the noodles in and broke the noodles up. Now I'm going to take some of that cheese and just kind of drop it here and there randomly. There's plenty of cheese to go around, that's for sure. When I use the smaller container of ricotta, and I think maybe I shredded my cheese. This was a really finely shredded, pre-shredded mozzarella. So the fact that and I used a bigger container of ricotta, I think that's why it's not as much of a crumbly mixture. Because usually what I'll do is just take my hands and just kind of break it apart. But I'm just going to put some in here and just kind of spread it out a little bit. Just so we get a nice little layer of cheese on the bottom. I think we have plenty of cheese, so. But you want to make sure everybody gets a bite of that cheese. I can still kind of like drop it. You know, in places where you see a spot that's open. This is very moist. Okay. Alright, now we're going to put in a layer of the sauce. Where's my little offset? Let's see. And we're just doing like a thin coverage there because we want to make sure, just keep an eye on your sauce that you have enough. See, the purpose of the sauce is for the next layer of noodles so that it cooks. So I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier. I'm going to break this one in half. Just trying to break out some little like triangular pieces and just put them here or there. I think y'all can kind of see in there. And I'm telling you, it's pretty much all you have to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more of that cheese and put that over the noodles. I'm going to put some more of that sauce. I'm going to keep repeating until I run out of cheese and run out of noodles and sauce, whichever I run out of first. And usually you'll end up with sauce on top of your noodles. You want to make sure you have enough sauce for on the top. And it's going in the microwave. You can put it, not in the microwave, I'm sorry, in the slow cooker, crock pot. Put it on, I actually put mine on low because you would think with these noodles you would have to cook them a long time. You do not. You can cook them on low for about 3 to 4 hours. They will be ready. I would not put it on high because I've put it on high before and you will have burning around the inside where the crock pot, where the sauce and cheese and everything is. So I'm going to get this together so I can get in the crock pot, and I plan on bringing you all back to show you the end result and when I serve it to Michael. We'll be right back. Okay folks, I have finished layering the lasagna. I forget how many layers I got, but as you can see, this is a large crock pot and it is completely full. This would be great to take for you know, maybe a potluck or, you know, some kind of event where you have to feed a large crowd. I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to stick it in the crock pot and I'll bring you back. I'm going to stick on the crock pot on low for about 4 hours. 3 or 4 hours, we'll see. Once it gets all bubbly, because the only thing that needs to really cook is the noodles. We'll be back.
How you doing, YouTube? Welcome back. Taste testing lasagna. Get a big bite. Very cheesy. Sauce is delicious. Hot. Mm. 2 thumbs up. Flavor's amazing. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Get back and check out the rest of Momma Jo's videos. Come back and get you some more goodness. Thank you. Good night.